Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain Show, only on Crypto TV Plus.
Are you there? It's your boy. No, sorry, it's your daddy, Mr. Macaroni. Keep watching Crypto TV Plus if you want to be doing well, especially. You get me now? Alright, you're doing well.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus. I am Bobby Andike. Before we proceed, I'd like to use this opportunity. Today is the 2nd of the month of May. I want to use this opportunity to wish all our viewers, our community, our partners out there a happy new month of May. We had our experiences in the previous month and we look forward to a fruitful month with everyone. Now let us start. Tesla SpaceX CEO Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter for a mouth-watering sum of $44 billion could be the big boom for the crypto space. Now, already seen as the father of Doge, Musk's move helped the meme coin jump nearly 20% on Monday 25th. Now, this deal on Monday came after a dramatic few weeks of speculation about Twitter's future, triggered by Musk's emergence as the platform's largest single shareholder on the 4th of April. Now, he then declared a takeover bid on the 14th of April, offering to buy all of Twitter's shares for $54.20 per share. Now, while his general approach to advancing Twitter could help remove spam and scam bots, as well as foster a more decentralized approach to censorship, it has been met with a lot of mixed feelings and reactions across social media. Now, today on the Inside Blockchain, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, a very popular topic, if I can put it that way. We'll be talking about Elon Musk and Twitter, and we'll be trying to make sense of what the future holds for the microblogging platform Twitter and its new Chief Executive Officer, Elon Musk. I have a guest with me virtually, but before I introduce him, we'll go on a quick commercial. Stay with us.
Hi guys, welcome into the Metaverse on Crypto TV Plus. In today's video, we're going to be taking a portal into the Takeover. Follow me. Takeover is a cross-chain platform metaverse island of multiple play-to-earn games, which allows players all over the world to socialize, earn, and enjoy a variety of games on all devices. Here are the elements of Takeover. First, we have DeFi and NFTs. Players will be able to collect different NFTs to build, stake, and
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus. I am Bobby Andike. And on today's edition of the Inside Blockchain, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about Elon Musk and Twitter, and we'll be paying specific attention to what the future holds for the social media platform Twitter. And I'm not here alone. I have here with me a very significant man, a man who has done remarkably well in the blockchain space, in the cryptocurrency space. He is Christopher Morris, the Chief Executive Officer of Yellowcard. Yellowcard is a cryptocurrency exchange, a leading cryptocurrency exchange. Chris, you're welcome to the Inside Blockchain Show. How are you today?
Bobby, I'm always better when I get to be here with you, man.
I feel the same way, Chris. And I'd like to, first of all, commend, I love what you did with the hair. You look exceptionally amazing today.
Thank you. A guy at the supermarket told me that I look like a movie star, so I canceled my hair appointment and I decided I'm keeping it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say you look just like a movie star, Chris. Fantastic.
The ladies don't agree, but I do it for the fellas. So
that's fantastic. So, Chris, I'm sure you must have heard about this, interesting topic that everyone has been talking about. The 25th of Monday was history was made as Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, made a strategic takeover of the microblogging platform Twitter. Now, I'd like us to start off with, now, Elon Musk has been described by many as unpredictable, and a whole lot of other words people have used to describe him. Now, what would you say, like, what are your thoughts on this whole incident, if I can put it that way? What are your thoughts? Just run us through that briefly.
To be honest, I can't think of anything funnier that could possibly have happened in 2022 than Elon Musk pulling together $40 billion to buy Twitter. That's, I mean, that's my initial thoughts, is that it's just hilarious, right? I think when we look past that, I think Elon is somebody that has always struck me as a very principled man. And I think for him to really put his money where his mouth is in terms of standing up for free speech and freedom of thought, freedom of expression on platforms like Twitter is, I think, for me, that's something extremely inspiring, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Well said. Chris, you would agree with me that before now, Elon Musk has always been on the headlines for a number of reasons. We look at 2021 when there was a major cryptocurrency market crash. And, some people actually attribute the crash to him, saying that some of the tweets that he made on this same platform, of which he's the CEO now, actually led to the crypto crash when he made some very, very specific comments. So I would say that he has always been in the headlines for a number of reasons, some positive, some negative, as perceived by some people. But, like you mentioned, you see him as a very principled person. But would you say that he is very unpredictable? Would you describe him with that word?
Unpredictable is probably a good word. I had no idea that he was going to buy Twitter.
Exactly.
So
we didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I don't think many people saw it coming, right? Certainly wasn't on my bingo card for 2022, but I think a little bit of unpredictability. Unpredictability can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing, right? It depends on which way it's swinging. Again, for something like this, I see this as a good thing, right? I think that Twitter has gotten to a point in society where it needs to really be adhering to things like freedom of speech, right? If Twitter is going to impose its views on everybody else, it's gotten to a point where it's too big to be able to do that, right? And where Twitter is essentially the public square now, right? Where people go for thoughts and expressions and that kind of thing, right? And so I hope that Elon is serious about what he said, right? And really changes some of the policies there to make the platform adhere more to free speech and to freedom of thought.
Oh, that's fantastic, Chris. So I'll just quickly read out a quote from what Elon Musk said. He said, "A top priority I would have is eliminating the spam and scam bots and the bot armies that are on Twitter. They make the product much worse. If I had a Dogecoin for every crypto scam I saw, I would have 100 billion Dogecoin." Now, before we get your thoughts on this, we would appreciate, like I mentioned before, Elon has always been looked upon as the father of Doge, and some circles, they even propose that he is actually behind the Dogecoin project. Now, what do you think this statement means when you look at Twitter, when you look at Dogecoin as a cryptocurrency? Now, keeping in mind that Dogecoin is a meme coin, and when we look at meme coins basically have no real world utility. Now, do you think there's something we're missing when you put these two together, Chris?
I think if you get rid of all the spam bots on Twitter, then the Dogecoin price might stop pumping. But yeah, other than that, right? I think hey, look, what Elon said would be fantastic, right? If you can get rid of all the spam on Twitter,
spam bots,
Yeah, that'd be terrific, right? Can it be done? I don't know. I don't know how technically possible that is.
He did mention that he was looking at making it more open source.
Yeah. I think with something like Twitter again, and I feel the same way about Twitter that I do about Google, that I do about Facebook, that I do about all of these major platforms. Is they've achieved a certain level of standing in society where like it is extremely important that Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc. Adhere to essentially decentralized principles, right? Where people should be allowed to express their thoughts, and there are things that everybody can agree on that are bad, right? And so those things should not be allowed. But for stuff that maybe the lawyers at Twitter don't like, but is perfectly legal and that kind of thing, right? Stuff like that should not be blocked from the platform just because a certain lawyer at Twitter doesn't like it, right?
Whether
or not the platform becomes decentralized, I think is a different, that's sort of a different debate. But I think at the very least, the importance is adhering to those principles of decentralization, right? That that people should have a say in what is and is not allowed, as opposed to a handful of lawyers at the company getting to decide.
Okay, yeah, that's great, Chris. So now it's a good thing that you mentioned free speech and all that. So any thoughts on the inclusion of free speech and also the edit button on Twitter? Now, before you answer this, let's look at something very, very sensitive here. Now, we understand that the nation of China is a major user of Tesla products, Tesla vehicles. And we understand the situation, the government in China, and the fact that they have a state-controlled media. Now, Elon Musk has described himself as a free speech absolute, or a free speech advocate, if I may put it that way. Now, what do you think? Do you think this will have any effect? Do you think it will affect the business relationship that he has built with the nation of China? Bearing in mind that China has a state-controlled media and you're proposing free speech. What are your thoughts on this, Chris?
China, Twitter's not allowed in China, so I don't think it'll impact anything for Elon. China's not going to allow Twitter, right? And it's already not allowed. So, China likes to, block out like big American tech companies so that they can make their own, right? And so I don't see them allowing Twitter in just because Elon is now, running it.
Okay, that's fantastic, Chris. So we have like a few more topics, a few more questions for Chris to answer. But before we do that, we'll go on a quick break. Stick around.
Oh, hi guys. I was just checking out Decentraland, and man, I'm blown. I could go on and on about how fascinating the NFTs are and their use case in GameFi and the Metaverse world, but that'll be me sounding cliche, yeah? And let's talk NFTs, I'll be shifting a little bit into checking out some Metaverse worlds we have today. Decentraland is my pick for today, so let's dive right into it.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bo of the Bull.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This is still Inside Blockchain and live from Crypto TV Plus. I am Bobby NDK. And today we're still talking about Elon Musk and Twitter, and we're taking a deep dive on what to expect for users of this social media platform, as I'm joined virtually by Christopher Morris, the Chief Executive Officer of Yellowcard. Once again, Chris, it's a pleasure to have you on the Inside Blockchain show. So now let's look at something very, very strategic, Chris. Now, you would agree with me that in light of recent circumstances, would you say that we are set to see any massive rally or utility on the meme coin Dogecoin? Because on the 25th on Monday, we saw like a 20% pump, and a lot of people invested. A lot of people, invested. Would I say out of FOMO or FUD and all that? So, do you think we're set for a long-term bull on this particular asset class, or do you think it's just a bubble?
I think Dogecoin is a meme, and memes are taking over the world, right? Elon buying Twitter is a meme, so that's everything is a meme nowadays, right? And so when you put it in that context, right, it's hard to say that Dogecoin is not going to do well, simply because memes are taking over the world.
But that's great. That's great, Chris. But now let's look at some issues that might raise concern on the long run. Now, as a result of this takeover or buyover by Elon Musk, a lot of mixed feelings and reactions. Some people have opted that they will leave, that they will abandon the platform and close up their accounts and move to other social media platforms. Do you think there's something in play here? Why is it more like a personal vendetta against Elon Musk? What would you say is behind some of the mixed reactions and skepticism coming from different quarters, on a global scale?
Yeah. So Elon has been, talking about freedom of speech the entire time during this process, right? The entire way through his process of buying Twitter, he has been talking about the importance of freedom of speech and how he wants to promote freedom of speech on the platform and all of that, right? And so if people are having an allergic reaction to freedom of speech, then that's fine. They should delete their Twitter account and they should go somewhere else and leave all the rest of us that want to be able to just speak and read and
be on the platform,
hear what's out there freely, right? Freedom of speech is in my opinion an inherent human right? And I think it says a lot when people have an allergic reaction to somebody that is openly promoting freedom of speech, right? Again, if he takes over Twitter and does something completely different, then we can talk about that then, right? And if he takes over Twitter and it becomes even worse, then sure, by all means, leave the platform and let's go start an alternative and all of that. But it's just, I don't know. It's upsetting. It's upsetting that so many people would be so opposed to freedom.
That's great, Chris. But the thing is, free speech comes at a very steep cost, because the truth is, in every social sphere of existence, there will always be bad players. Now, we understand that, just like you said, free speech is inherent in every human being. But what about when you take a look at the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, and some of the some of the provocative tweets he made on this same platform that led to his account getting suspended? Now, if Elon is proposing a freedom of speech where people get to say what they want in a more decentralized infrastructure, don't you think there would be a more of a clash opinion, because now people would not be held back? What about some people that are always making racist comments, people that always saying a lot of things on this platform? What do you think don't you think something will come up along the line?
Yeah, I think that there are extremes that everybody can agree are bad, right? And again, I think kind of like we talked about earlier with sort of the principles of decentralization, is people sort of people like together can agree that certain things are bad, right? And those things should not be allowed, right? And so racist remarks and things like that, right? We can all agree that's bad and wrong. To the extent, when you think about like political leaders, and not necessarily just Trump, right? But when you think about stuff like that, right? I think that anybody that's in a position of power, at a certain point, you need to let people make up their own mind, right? I think that people will react more negatively. You're gonna drive more polarization by trying to make a decision for people than you are by letting people make up their own mind, right? And so, to the extent that people don't like what a political leader is saying, then people can make up their own mind on their opinion on that political leader, right? I think that where at least where I draw the line, and where a lot of people draw the line, is that when it appears that a third party is trying to make decisions for you, right? That's when I like to pull back, right? And so I think for any for a platform like Twitter, again, right, there's stuff that should not be allowed, right? And there's stuff that we can agree on as a society that's not okay and that should not be allowed. And then outside of that, people should be left to make their own opinions, right, and make their own judgment. And that's what freedom of speech is about, right? Is the ability to actually have a dialogue.
Yeah.
And so that being said, I think Elon is going to do some stuff that I'm probably not going to agree with personally, but at the same time, I think that freedom of speech is more important than my personal opinion on any particular person or anything like that, right?
Oh, that's fantastic, Chris. Well said. So let's talk a bit about some significant things that have happened over time, spanning from 2021 to 2022. Now, venture capital activity in the global Web3, crypto, and the blockchain space last year was really massive. You would agree with me on that. Now, adoption in the space has increased steadily, and 2022 could be a big year for Web3 startups, especially in Africa. We've seen so many tech startups now. How would you say this happened, and what are your thoughts as to the growth projection for most blockchain startups in the African market? As someone who is at the forefront of, cryptocurrency exchange, one of the leading cryptocurrency exchange, how do you think this happened? What are your projections for, some of these Web3 Metaverse projects in the African market? Talk to us about that.
I mean, it's you don't have to look far to see how big crypto is getting on the continent, right? I mean, just this week, Central African Republic announcing that Bitcoin is going to be an official currency in the country, right? The first African country to do so. And so the thing is that's not. Central African Republic is not going to be the outlier. I think that they are just going to be starting a trend, right? And I think that the most obvious use cases for crypto are in countries like Central African Republic, where the economy has been held back by the CFA system, right? And the economy has been held back by the fact that they have to put all their money in a French bank, and the French basically get to loan their money back to them, and et cetera, right? And so, for a country like CAR, it makes a lot of sense, right? That they would want the freedom that something like crypto brings. And again, I don't see them as an outlier. I see it as trend setting, right? I think that the space is only going to continue to grow on the continent. And people all over the continent, right? It's not, people, I think people think about crypto and they think about Nigeria, they think about South Africa, right? They think about like some of the larger economies, but the reality is that it's useful everywhere on the continent, right? And it solves so many problems for not just for people, but for entities, for governments, for across the board, right? In terms of weeding out corruption, in terms of promoting freedom and independence, right? So it's it's a really exciting time to be in crypto. Never mind anything else. And it's a very exciting time to be in crypto on the continent specifically.
Oh, that's fantastic, Chris. So I understand that Yellowcard as a cryptocurrency exchange is licensed in over, would I say 6 to 15 countries? So what do you think this means for you in light of some of the remarkable things that have happened? Just like you mentioned, the growth projections of blockchain startups in the African market. Now, as it relates to cryptocurrency regulation, countries like Nigeria and some other countries countries where their apex bank, is still battling cryptocurrency transactions and placing bans on banks from facilitating these same crypto transactions. What do you think this means, for your company? Do you think it's something you would want to look into a bit more to see how you can, proffer a much more viable solution?
Yeah. So we do have licensing in some parts of the continent, right? And then in other parts of the continent, the central bank or the commercial banks or anything like that, some parts have misunderstandings, right, around what is crypto, why is crypto valuable and useful in the context of this country or this local environment, right? And so for us it's just about working with regulators to the extent that we can, right, on making sure that they actually understand the space, making sure that they understand what's going on in crypto, et cetera, right? But obviously, at the end of the day, we working with the regulators is important, right? Because they're the ones that have a lot of power over banking, a lot of power over the industry, right? And so, to the extent that we can, we want to make sure that they understand the space.
Hey, that's fantastic. It's I like the way the sentence you closed with, that they understand the space, because the most important thing there is for them to understand the technology, for them to understand this asset class. That's like a very big step, because when they understand it, they will actually be in a position to regulate it properly. So that's fantastic, Chris. So what do you think, or what would you say are the biggest misconceptions that people, governments, and investors and institutional investors have against cryptocurrencies?
I think that people have a variety of misconceptions because people form judgments pretty quickly, right? And crypto had some negative press, especially in the early days, right? And so people read the bad press, especially on the continent. There's still a ton of Ponzi schemes and different scams out there that are using the name of Bitcoin. They use the name of Bitcoin to promote their schemes, right? And so the problem is that people associate Bitcoin with these schemes. They think that Bitcoin is in some way a scam. They think that it's in some way involved in what people are doing with it, right? And so really it's just about clearing that up, right? It's about making sure that people understand that Bitcoin is completely separate to any Ponzi scheme or anything like that might claim to, be selling Bitcoin or involved in Bitcoin or whatever. Right. And so for us, that's the big thing, right? Is again, just how do we clear up some of those misconceptions? And with any regulator, or with any person, right, when you're trying to convince them, not just of Bitcoin, but of anything, you need to first understand where are they coming from? What context are they coming from? Right. And so that's generally what we like to do first, is just understand, hey, look, what have you heard about Bitcoin? What do you think you know about Bitcoin? And let's make sure that let's make sure that you have a full understanding of the technology. Right.
Okay, that's great. So finally, Chris, before we let you go now, what do you think, just like our key headline, Elon Musk and Twitter, what to expect? What would you say people are going to expect from Elon Musk as the new CEO of Twitter? Now, he has outlined a couple of things that he's going to do. First on the list is free speech. He also said he will make the algorithm more open source and available to people. And he also said he's going to scrap the bot and scam bots and all that. And then there's also an inclusion of a removal of advertising. So in light of everything, in light of all his plans that he hopes to achieve, what should we expect from this platform, in your own opinion?
I think that's a great question. I think we can sit here and speculate, but the only info that any of us have available is what Elon has said he's going to do, right? So exactly,
and that's what makes him very unpredictable.
Yeah, I think we'll see what he does, right? Again, like the whole process, he's been talking about freedom of speech, and so hopefully we see more of that. Hopefully we see more sort of what I would like to see. I don't know how he's going to do this, but what I would like to see is essentially an open source way of determining what is and is not allowed on Twitter, right? I think that's that's the most important thing, right? And going back to what we said earlier, right? There's stuff that we can all agree should not be allowed, and then there's stuff that some people want and some people don't, and just because some people don't want it on there doesn't mean that it shouldn't be allowed, right? And so. Yeah, I think we'll have ideally we'll have more of like an open source way of determining sort of what is appropriate content, and yeah, I think that'll just make it better overall for everybody on the website.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Chris, the Chief Executive Officer of Yellowcard. Thank you so much for joining us on the Inside Blockchain to share your insights on the topic at hand. Yellowcard is one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges where you can trade, swap, sell all your cryptocurrencies and a whole lot of other use cases. Just check them out. Yellowcard. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, sir. Take it easy.
Yeah, love the hair. And that's all for today. Visit our website, cryptotvplus.com, to get more updates and trends captured within the world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, GameFi, and Metaverse. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter @CryptoTVPlus, and on Instagram @OfficialCryptoTVPlus to get daily info on our programs. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to stay updated on our videos. If you have any questions about the program, share them in the comment section below. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Bobby and DK. See you next week.